"Good heavens, you're freezing!" exclaimed Anna, rushing to the door. She had heard the soft knocking amidst the howling wind. The door creaked open, revealing a woman huddled in a threadbare shawl, her eyes red with cold and despair. "Please," the woman stuttered. "I need a place to stay. My name is Ruth." The warmth from the crackling fireplace spilled out into the snow-covered street. Anna's heart went out to her. Come in," she said, stepping aside. "You're more than welcome here." Ruth stepped into the dimly lit room, snowflakes clinging to her weary face. She looked around at the sparse furnishings, the wooden table laid with a simple meal. The smell of stew filled the air, making her stomach rumble. Anna led her to the table and began serving the food. "You must be famished," she said with a gentle smile. Ruth nodded, her eyes welling up. "I am," she admitted, her voice barely audible. "Thank you." The two women ate in silence, the only sound the crackling fire and the occasional sigh of relief as warmth seeped into their bones. After a while, the tension began to ease from Ruth's shoulders. She took a deep breath and began her story. "My husband, he passed away, left me with 2 little ones," she choked out. "We had to leave our home. I've been walking for days." Anna's heart broke at the tale of loss and hardship. She knew all too well the pain of loneliness and struggle, but she also knew the power of a helping hand. When they had finished eating, she stood and went to a corner of the room, returning with a basket filled with supplies. "This isn't much," she said, placing it on the table, "but it should help you and your children get by." Ruth's eyes grew wide as she took in the contents of the basket. "How can I ever repay you?" she asked, her voice trembling with emotion. Anna just smiled and said, "By passing on the kindness you've been given. That's all the payment I need." The next morning, the sun rose over the village, casting a soft glow on the fresh snow. Anna walked with Ruth to the town square, where she introduced her to the local blacksmith, the baker, and the seamstress. Each person greeted them warmly, their faces familiar to Anna. She had a knack for making everyone feel seen and valued. The blacksmith, a burly man named Thomas, offered to fix the broken strap on Ruth's satchel, while the baker, a cheery woman named Martha, promised to save some day-old bread for the children. The seamstress, a kind soul named Rachel, offered to mend their tattered clothes. As they moved from shop to shop, the villagers looked upon Ruth with a mix of curiosity and compassion. They had heard of her plight from Anna and were eager to help in any way they could. Days turned into weeks, and with each passing day, the bond between Anna and Ruth grew stronger. Anna taught her how to forage for food in the surrounding woods, how to keep the fire burning through the night, and even how to patch the leaks in the roof. In return, Ruth helped Anna with the chores and tended to her small garden, her strong hands moving deftly despite the cold. One evening, as they sat by the fire, their bellies full and their hearts warm, Anna told Ruth about her own life. Her husband had been a carpenter, taken by an untimely illness. But even in her grief, she had found solace in her faith and in helping others. "God provides," she said, her eyes shining with conviction. "And when we share what we have, we're just passing along His love." Ruth nodded, her own faith renewed by Anna's selflessness. She thought of her children, how they would be safe and warm because of this woman's generosity. "I want to be like you," she said, her voice earnest. "I want to make sure no one in this village ever has to feel the way I did when I arrived." Anna's eyes filled with tears. "You already are," she said, taking Ruth's hand. "Every act of kindness you do in return is a reflection of Jesus' love. And that, my dear, is the greatest gift of all." As the fire crackled and the village outside grew quiet, the two women sat in companionable silence, their hearts bound by a shared belief in the power of love and community. Little did they know that their friendship would become the foundation for a legacy of compassion that would echo through the generations. The following day, as Anna and Ruth ventured into the woods to gather firewood, they stumbled upon an injured fox. Its paw was caught in a cruel trap, a relic of the harsh winters that had long passed. Without hesitation, Anna approached the creature, speaking softly and gently. She worked to free the fox's paw, her hands steady and sure, while Ruth watched in awe. Once the fox was free, it looked up at them with a gaze that seemed to speak of gratitude before limping away into the safety of the trees. The sight of the creature's suffering and its subsequent release was a stark reminder of their own vulnerability and the importance of looking out for each other. The incident sparked a conversation about the harsh realities that so many in the village faced, especially the widowed and the orphaned. Anna spoke of a time when the village had been much less giving, and how a single act of kindness from a stranger had changed the course of her own life. Ruth, inspired by Anna's words and the memory of her own desperation, made a silent vow to carry on the tradition of helping those in need. Her heart swelled with a newfound sense of purpose, and she knew that she had found not just a mentor but a true friend in Anna. Together, they brainstormed ways to assist others in the village. They organized a community food bank where residents could donate excess supplies, and a system of communal work parties to help with the heaviest chores. The ripples of their kindness grew wider, reaching even the most distant and forgotten corners of the valley. And so it was that Anna's simple act of opening her door to a stranger grew into a wave of love that touched every heart in the village. They saw Jesus in each other's eyes, in every shared meal and every comforting embrace. The village, once a collection of isolated souls, became a tapestry of interwoven lives, each thread strengthened by the warmth of Christ's love. As winter turned to spring, and the snow melted away to reveal the promise of new life, so too did the village begin to heal. The seeds of kindness that Anna had sown grew into a lush garden of compassion and care, a testament to the enduring power of a single heart that chooses to love without measure. Ruth's children grew stronger and happier, playing with the village children under the watchful eyes of their newfound friends. They would often bring back tales of the kindness they had witnessed, of neighbors helping neighbors, of smiles replacing frowns, and of hearts growing warm with the embers of shared hope. The villagers, once suspicious of outsiders, now greeted each newcomer with open arms, eager to extend the hand of friendship and aid that had been so freely given to them. They saw in every face a reflection of Jesus, and in every pair of eyes, a spark of divine love. The community blossomed as people shared not just their possessions but also their time, their talents, and their hearts. One day, a young widow named Margaret arrived, her spirit as bruised as her body. Anna and Ruth took her in without hesitation, knowing the pain she bore. They tended to her wounds, both seen and unseen, offering comfort and a place in their burgeoning family. Margaret, in turn, brought with her a beautiful voice that filled the village with hymns of praise and hope, her melodies a balm to the soul. The three women worked tirelessly to expand their efforts, and soon the village was a bastion of support. They started a school for the children, where knowledge was not just taught but lived. They organized a council to address the needs of the community, ensuring that no voice went unheard, no hand unhelped. The change was palpable, a transformation so profound that even the most skeptical could not deny the hand of God at work. The village grew in number, drawing in those who had lost their way or had nowhere else to turn. They found in Anna's home, and in the hearts of the villagers, a sanctuary of peace and plenty. The story of Anna's kindness spread like wildfire, reaching the ears of travelers and pilgrims who passed through. Some stayed, others moved on, but all carried with them the flame of Jesus' love that had been rekindled in that remote valley. The village became known as a place where miracles happened, not in the form of grand gestures or divine interventions, but in the quiet moments of everyday life, when love overcame despair and hope bloomed amidst the ruins of hardship. And so, the legacy grew, not just within the confines of the village, but beyond, reaching into the wider world. Anna and her friends had created a beacon of light that could not be extinguished, a testament to the enduring truth that love, when shared, can conquer all. As the years passed, Anna's cottage grew too small for the growing number of souls seeking refuge. With the help of the villagers, they built a larger house, one that could accommodate not just the lost and the lonely, but also serve as a community center for gatherings and celebrations. The walls of the house were filled with laughter and prayers, the floors with the footsteps of those who had found refuge and kinship. The children grew, and with them, the village's spirit of generosity. They learned from Anna and Ruth that kindness was not a commodity to be hoarded, but a gift to be shared freely. Each of them carried the torch of compassion, lighting the way for others to follow. One winter's evening, as the first snowflakes began to fall, a knock echoed through the house. Anna, now an elderly woman, hobbled to the door, her heart still as open as the day she had met Ruth. A young man, weary from his travels, stood before her, his eyes filled with the same desperation she had once seen in her friends. Without a moment's hesitation, she ushered him in, offering him warmth and sustenance. The young man, named Joseph, told them of his journey to spread the word of Jesus' love. His tales of the world outside their valley stirred something within them, a yearning to reach further, to help more. Inspired, they decided to expand their mission, creating a network of traveling helpers who carried the village's spirit with them wherever they went. These emissaries of kindness ventured out into the cold, carrying baskets of food and warmth, bringing hope and healing to those they encountered. They returned with stories of lives changed, of hearts touched, and of a world that, despite its harshness, was ripe for transformation. Through it all, Anna remained the heart of the village, her gentle guidance a beacon for all. Her once simple act of opening her door to a stranger had set in motion a movement that would span generations, a testament to the power of a single act of love. Ruth, now a wise and respected woman in her own right, watched with pride as her children and grandchildren continued the work she and Anna had started. The village was no longer just a place of survival, but a bastion of hope, a living example of Jesus' teachings in action. As Anna grew frail, the villagers took turns caring for her, each one eager to repay a fraction of the kindness she had shown them.